Hi all and welcome back to a new video, another one for this installment of videos over the Christmas period. In the last episode we obviously looked into the big English races and obviously the Welsh National going forward into the Christmas period, the King George, the Christmas Hurdle, all of them. So if you want to check out that video, I'm sure it's on the channel. It's the last video there. It's under the King George Preview 2019. You get all that English action. In that video even, I promised though that I'd be going through the Leopardstown cards on a kind of a daily enough basis, which is true. I'm going to do them a bit like I do the Cheltenham videos. I'm going to give you hopefully around certainly one if not two selections per race every day. So this is obviously being recorded on Christmas Eve afternoon, and which will be Stephen's Day's card. I'll probably end up recording the 27th at the end of Christmas Day tomorrow, the 28th at the end of Stephen's Day, and the 29th at the end of the 27th, something like that. So you're always kind of one step ahead, hopefully anyway, in terms of that. Going in to Leopardstown on Stephen's Day, it looks a good card. It's a competitive card. A few horses I really liked that aren't running. I thought John Snow might run in one of the maiden hurdles. He's not, which is a bit disappointing. I thought a horse called Sizing Potsy was going to run in the Novice Handicap Hurdle off 119, and I thought he was thrown in off 119, but they haven't entered him, so I don't know whether he'll turn up in one of the other handicaps at Leopardstown this week, or whether he'll turn up in a maiden hurdle, perhaps either. But going in to the opening maiden hurdle on the card. Soft ground on the hurdles course at the moment. It's dry though, and Leopardstown dries quickly, so it could end up being kind of yielding to soft at the end when we go to race time. It's a tricky enough race because there's usually something more standing out, but obviously Classical Dream won this race last year at odds of 3-1 or something, so he wasn't particularly fancied. I have come down here, as bad as it sounds, I have come down here on the favourite, which is a horse called Fusain for Henry de Bromhead and Rachel Blackmore 9-4. And the reason for this is I really like Festival Dex, the Gordon Elliott trained horse that beat him last time at Navan. And Fusain looked like he had the race won, to be honest, but Festival Dex came kind of sweeping by him and kind of nailed him late and went on to win by a length and a half on the uphill finish. It's not as stiff at Leopardstown as it is at Navan, and this horse brings rock solid form to the table in that run. My only issue is his previous run wasn't particularly good, which was his first run in Ireland, but I'm prepared to forgive him that for that reason, and hopefully we can, if he backs up that form, I think he'll win this race. And a big shout out has to be given to Arthurian Fame, owned by the Blackrock Racing Syndicate. I know a few of the lads myself that are involved in the Blackrock Racing Syndicate. I hope he runs really well. I think he's entitled to. He doesn't look the most natural a jumper, and apparently he hasn't been one of the most natural jumpers to ever go over obstacles for Joseph O'Brien, but form-wise, from the flat, he should be well there and is a worthy second favourite. I think if you were going for something perhaps at a bit of a price, if you got 3 or 4 places, the no meat horse Powerful Ted could run an alright race in Patricia Hunt's colours. Was a Galway bumper winner before, finishing 4th behind a good horse of Gordon Elliott's called Pencil Full of Lead up in Down Royal at their open meeting at the start of November. I think he could go well if he transitions to hurdles. He's around 10-1. The second maiden hurdle on the card sees Mount Leinster run here. He's the favourite at 9-4. Also, Willie Mullins has Concertista, second in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle last year. She's 4-1. However, I don't like either of them, to be honest. I've burnt my fingers a couple of times on Mount Leinster last year, and Concertista put in a very, very disappointing run last time out at Ferryhouse. I think she'll come on leaps and bounds for that, and I'd probably fancy her more than I'd fancy Mount Leinster. But in a horse called Entucas, you've got properly good, solid form in the book. He ran in the opening maiden hurdle last year when he was beaten by Classical Dream. He was beaten around 2 lengths that day. He's returned this year and has been close enough in his 2 starts. He was 3rd behind Envoy Alain up and down Royal, and then 2nd beaten in a photo behind Vatsy at Navan. Both of them bring solid form to the table. He's 3-1. Joseph's horse is running well. I think he could go well. And one at an each way price that I am actually quite sweet on is a Carl Thornton horse called Shan Rowe. who was brought down on hurdling debut when he was running at Catterick. He was long odds on that day. I think he would have won as well. He was moving menacingly through the field. It was just one of those things that happens, unfortunately. Nothing much you can do. He was a 3-time bumper winner and I think could actually go well. He doesn't run actually in Ireland that much for a Irish trained horse, but I think he could go well this time round. The Juvenile Hurdle I've got a pretty strong say on. As you guys well know, I'm a big fan of the Cerbers and a Wave of the Sea form, and I see a Wave of the Sea's in here at 5-1. Now 5-1's a massive price, and to be honest, I can't see this horse going off 5-1. I think common sense will prevail in the end, and he could well go off 7-2. The fly in the ointment here is this Aspire Tower for Henry de Bromhead, who could just be too good. And you are running that risk. A Wave of the Sea is kind of what he is. As for Aspire Tower, could be excellent. We've got a Gordon Elliott Raider as well that could be good. Clemencio wouldn't be going near. Echoes in Rain for Mullins could be anything. Like, there's a few could be anythings in here. But I think A Wave of the Sea is the solid option. They're putting the cheek pieces on for the first time. He wasn't a brilliant jumper, and that kind of cost against him in the run against Cerbers, where he's giving £3 and didn't jump quite as fluently and was beaten around 2.5 lengths. I think if he runs to that form and brushes up his jumping a bit, he'll be bang there, and 5-1's a huge price for me. The Novice Handicap Hurdle is always, I think it's probably the trickiest race of the whole 4 days to figure out. I've only backed the winner once, and it was a horse called Concordant for Robert Tyner. Mark Walsh delivered him on the line to chin Artful Artist. That was around 3 years ago, though. I've had pretty much no luck in it since then. Shared the Honour came second in the race last year, and I'd backed him. I've got 2 here, one near the top of the weights and one right at the bottom of the weights. And the one at the top of the weights is De Mazzaro for Tom McCourt. Was running in the Greatwood Hurdle last time out. He's not really good enough to be running in the Greatwood Hurdle, to be honest, but was running an alright race when falling late enough. Tara O'Keefe keeps the ride. He's in much, much handier territory here, and should be going close. As I say, he's near enough the top of the weight. I think he's running off 117 or 118. But he could be well enough in to be progressive at that type of a mark. And the one that would take a bit of a leap of faith, but I'm prepared to take that leap, is a horse called the Mouse Doctor for Tony Martin. His looks a bit of a Tony Martin plot job in my eyes. He's running off 102 here, given that the last time he ran on the flat, which was a few months ago, he won at Leopardstown off a flat mark of 77. I think he's gone up into the 80s for that run. And he's just got bags and bags of potential over hurdles, I think. His 4 runs over hurdles, he hasn't really been put in races. And it just looks to me like this horse is ridiculously well handicapped. He likes Leopardstown. He's won here a couple of times on the flat. Has been running some solid enough races. And I just think he'll be bang there. I just cannot see him not running well. Unless the horse can physically not jump. Which, looking at his races back, he seemed to be jumping soundly, just not being put in races. So I think he could be the blot in this. The Racing Post Novice Chase should be an absolutely superb race. Only 5 runners, but a very strong 5 runners at that. The 2 outsiders, Royal Rendezvous and Jingle, are both very good horses. Notebook is an excellent horse, and Lorena and Fakir Duderie are properly good. There is a bit of me that says that Fakir Duderie will jump them all into submission, but I can't desert the mare here. I think Lorena is top class. I think she's a gift from the racing gods that we need to be cherishing. And I just really hope that she jumps well in behind Fakir and just comes there cantering at around 2 out and then kind of outstays. And Fakir Duderie is maybe to have done a bit too much too soon. And I just see Lorena running huge here and enhancing her Arkle prospects in the interim while doing this. Sorry, it took a while to get that out. The Handicap Chase then, the 255, usually the similar enough horses running this. You know, Tis a Mystery won it twice. Dicius, I remember, won it once and came second once. Lake Takapuna used to run it loads. But a few new names on the list here today. for this race. Bazio's your 5-1 favourite. I couldn't be going close to Bazio. Again, I would be taking a leap of faith on the Tony Martin and David Splane combination here. Same colours as the Mouse Doctor at the Acorn. And this is a good horse. This is a good horse that they have schooled round in 3 beginners' chases. He was 16-1 initially when priced up. He is now 10-1. The money is down. This horse will run well. It will. It's been plotted for a handicap like this, and he's off a stone's weight, or a featherweight here. I think he'll go very close. 2 others, though, at prices I'd be giving a shout-out for would be Powers Bomb at 11-1. Would have won this race 2 years ago for not falling at the last. Has been hiked up around £6 since his chase win at Cork last time out. Doesn't need to improve off the back of that, but I think he could. And Grand Partner. There's no Leopardstown Christmas Festival without Grand Partner rocking up. He is just an absolute legend of the turf at Leopardstown. He loves it around there. 14-1 could be big. Done a miler in the plate. And the final race, the Bumper. There is a really well-regarded horse here for WP in Al Boom's photo, Mrs. Donnelly's colours, called Rami. It's now 6-4. It started off 7-4. Running against a horse called Hamordison for Gordon Elliott. That's a very, very risky stab at the pronunciation of Hamundurison. I don't know what his name is, but apparently he's meant to be very good. He's been very highly regarded at home by Elliott. Some saying that he could be their best Bumper horse. But this Rami is also very highly regarded. Richie Deegan in the saddle, I wouldn't mind that one bit. He costs 250,000 at a point-to-point sale. He's just of automatic interest coming from the source. I think it will be between the 2 of them, with the preference going for Rami in this case, just because he has the point-to-point experience and therefore does have something to go for him. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below. There's obviously going to be heaps more content over the Christmas period, including the other 3 days of the Leopardstown Christmas Festival. Do, of course, let me know what you think about the suggestions and who you think is going to be the main winners, runners, whatever you think over the Christmas period, and especially the Stephen's Day racing at Leopardstown for this video. So do you think, I suppose, in the main race, is Fakir Doodaree going to jump them into submission, or will Lorena come there on the snaff? Let me know down below. I'll see you next time.